Could WWE be facing a lawsuit over the TKO merger? An AEW original is leaving the company, and a former TNA name was backstage at Raw. Stay tuned for the news. It's been quite a week in the world of wrestling, quite a busy weekend. We've had a lot of CM Punk related news, but thankfully we've got some news that's not some CM Punk related. There's some other news.
But it's potentially earth-shattering.
It's earth-shattering, yes, which will keep the wrestling world spinning. WWE is facing a lawsuit over the TKO merger. This has been filed against WWE, contesting that TKO Group Holdings merger, which took place recently, and the suit claims that former WWE chairman Vince McMahon ignored offers from potential buyers in order to take the offer that allowed him to get back into the company.
So in a nutshell, he basically had a handshake agreement, we'll call it, with the TKO Group saying, I'll be kept on, yes, you can have the deal. Potential suitors, I'm not guaranteed to be kept on. Maybe the talk of the allegations and all that sort of stuff will rumble on. I'll not do business with you.
And that's a very bad thing for stakeholders. You know, obviously his role was to make them the most money. That's how this whole thing works. And if he's turned down offers that maybe make them more money but get rid of him, there is a lot of grounds for a lawsuit there. Now, this story was broken by The Hollywood Reporter, and according to unsealed papers in the Delaware Court of Chancery from November 22nd, the investors alleged that McMahon pushed a quick sale of WWE to Endeavor chief Ari Emanuel and described Vince as a close friend and longtime ally. From there, the deal allowed McMahon to stay involved in the company and kind of avoid the scrutiny that was around all the allegations. Now, according to the suit that was filed by investors, the WWE board of members conjured up a sham sales process that favoured Endeavour and excluded other bidders seeking to axe McMahon. As you said right at the start, this is possibly earth-shattering for WWE and the newly formed TKO Group.
Well, it's interesting because the news regarding all of this stuff recently has been about TKO sort of going, Vince McMahon, get out. Vince McMahon selling all his stock, or selling some of his stock. Just Vince McMahon, just go over there because it's harming things that we don't want it to harm. So it's interesting that they've been trying to do that anyway, and now this stuff is coming out the woodwork. It is potential. I don't know what the ramifications are. I'm not qualified, quite frankly, but it sounds massive. It
sounds massive. I think it'll cause a lot of the stakeholders, if it is true and it goes to a court or they settle out, it'll allow the stakeholders to get a lot of money. It won't stop this merger that has now happened, but it will just mean a lot of money will go back into the pockets of the stakeholders who've gone, you've kind of taken money from us. Because as the report says, McMahon's reportedly disregarded at least 2 all-cash offers with better terms than the one that Endeavour offered. Now, the suit says that the price paid for the company was far below some of the offers they obtained from others that pursued it. I can't remember exactly how much it was sold for.
Me neither.
But it was billions.
Owen, on there now.
Get it on the screen.
Save us, Owen.
It was billions of dollars that the company was sold for. I wonder how much some of the other offers were that they've gone, this is big enough to have a lawsuit here.
Yeah, I don't know what even say, Fraser. But it just sounds really, really big, doesn't it?
Right, and from the complaint, it continues by saying, not only did he secure a future for himself at post-merger WWE, McMahon also stuffed his pockets and those of his loyalists before agreeing to a deal. Signed McMahon, Nick Khan, Paul Levesque, and Frank A. Riddick received a combined $25 million in cash bonus. That'd be quite nice to have, wouldn't it? Yeah. $25 million.
I wouldn't mind that. This all just sounds like Tony D and Stacks in NXT dealing with the mob.
It really does, doesn't it? There's sort of backroom deals going on. It's not surprising that after many mergers, there's a lot of lawsuits from stakeholders and stuff like that. But it is one to keep an eye on because it could cost the company quite a lot of money.
Yeah, it does feel like, just based off what we've read this morning here, that Vince McMahon has took the deal that benefited him personally the most, which I guess you would do, but not for the reasons he's done it, if that makes sense, because he had all that other stuff going on around his name.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, just moving over to AEW just now, another thing that could cost the company quite a lot of money is QT Marshal leaving.
I don't think so, Fraser.
No, you don't think so?
Well, no, that's unfair because a lot of people's, well, mine included, like sort of thoughts and feelings about QT Marshal is him being like an on-screen character for AEW when it felt like more talented, more deserving people weren't on TV. When the QTV time basically is where that feeling comes from. But you can't deny the guy got reactions. He suited his role when he was used properly very well indeed. But he has left the company.
He has. What did he say on Twitter, Ross?
He said, thank you AEW, thank you Tony Khan. I've had the privilege of being here since day one and I've written over 750 different formats for All Elite Wrestling, and always with pride. As much as I've enjoyed being a VP, manager of talent relation, and wearing a myriad of hats, the company has changed lots since 2019 and is heading in a different direction, and I feel that it's best I do the same, as we only get one chance to go all in. What does that mean?
Only one chance to go all in.
Yes. I have officially resigned from AEW and have fully fulfilled all obligations by the end of 2023. Thank you everyone from the front office to the production truck to some of the hardest working talent in the sport. Most importantly, thank you to those who booed, cheered, and took part in in this season of my life. That's the main thing to take away from there, is how many hats the guy did wear backstage.
It seems like he was very well placed in AEW in terms of he was training people, he was a VP, he was manager of talent relations. He had a lot of things, as he said, wearing a lot of myriad of hats. I wonder how much of an absence will be felt in AEW that we won't see on screen.
Yeah.
But behind the scenes, how much, and it's a shame that he is departing if it's the reason he's saying, the company's heading in a different direction to the one that he maybe signed up for. And I think that's maybe visible from sometimes on the product.
Yeah. I mean, how can he train old people?
That's true.
Just think about the Nightmare Factory, training the wrestlers of tomorrow. How can they train the wrestlers of tomorrow if they're from yesterday?
If they're from yesterday, that's very true. Do we think? Where do we think QT Marshall will end up?
I don't know. He's still got the AAA title, is he? I don't know. He's still kind of involved with them in some form or fashion.
You don't think his old friend
maybe he'll go to the
Cody
Young
Rhodes?
Bucks' new promotion?
Yeah.
Killing the business wrestling that they filed the trademark
for the other day. You don't see him jumping to WWE with Cody Rhodes as mate Cody?
Well, not as an on-screen character, but as I say, he's obviously got a fair reputation as a trainer and all the other backstage hats that he did wear. So maybe there's a role he could fulfill backstage there.
Well, maybe we'll see. But coming up on SmackDown this week, we've got the return of Logan Paul, a current United States champion. It was announced in a video package during last night's Raw, but this is his first appearance since winning the belt on November 4th.
Is it actually?
Yeah. He's not appeared on SmackDown with the title since he actually won it, which was at the start of the month.
In all fairness to Logan, which I never thought would be a sentence.
Yeah, that's a sentence you're saying.
He's been on Fox News. He's been on other things with the belt. He's spreading the good name of the WWE throughout the world.
Doing a lot of things with that belt based on that Twitter post he put up a few weeks ago.
At least it's squeaky clean now.
True. I just find it very funny that he said after winning the belt, I'm retired from boxing, I'm focusing on wrestling full time. It's been a month.
Maybe he's just not been booked, Fraser. Maybe that's the problem.
That could be it.
Maybe he's been sat in catering with his US title going, oh no,
I should be out there.
Can't believe they're not using me again.
Who do you think he'll kick off a feud with on SmackDown?
Well, I think WrestleMania, it's got to be LA Knight, but as for now, to get us to WrestleMania season, I've got no idea. Maybe Dragon Lee, someone like that, just a little...
That'd be quite fun.
A little bubbler under the surface sort of feud.
Him and Dragon Lee would probably have a lot of chemistry. They both work a very good style that mesh well.
Saying that though, Dragon Lee's fully involved with Santos and the LWO stuff. I don't name underdog babyface on the roster.
Let us know in the comments below who you think Logan Paul is going to be facing when he returns to SmackDown. But another sort of big name was backstage at Raw last night. It was one that was kind of surprising when I refreshed Twitter. I'm going to bed, falling asleep, and I see Dixie Carter's backstage at Monday Night Raw.
We should say that Raw was in Tennessee last night, and I do believe she has ties with the city.
I think she's from Nashville, yeah. So it's
Tennessee, the city, Ross.
Tennessee, the city. It's not surprising that she was maybe there in that sense, but she shared photos on Instagram with Cody Rhodes, Nick Aldis, Chelsea Green, Bruce Pritchard, and Drake Maverick.
Impact Wrestling.
It's all the Impact stars, right? Drake Maverick now works obviously backstage at WWE. You've got Cody Rhodes in there, had a brief run in Impact. Nick Aldis, who was one of the Impact's biggest champions,
cornerstones, wasn't he?
Brutus Magnus, can't beat it. But it was strange to see her backstage. I don't think this is a sign of her coming into the company.
No, Fraser, let's not say that.
But she was backstage, and it was cool to see Dixie Carter backstage at Raw. But yeah, that's all we've got for just now. We might be back with more wrestling news because it's a busy week and there's been a lot of things. Go and check out WTF moments from Survivor Series. Was it a busy night for you, Ross?
It wasn't too bad in terms of WTF. Obviously, there's one big one, but then the rest of the card I thought was just a nice show, wasn't it?
It was a very good show. We'll check out that video. Check out what happened. If you're still unsure of what happened at Survivor Series, and watch all the content. We'll see you later.